you're new to this channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Logan, this is Timeless Personal Growth and Development, and today we're talking about listening to your inner voice, which so many people have a hard time with. I do too sometimes. Inner voice is that little voice inside of you telling you something very, very important. And sometimes we choose to ignore it, and sometimes we choose to address it. It all depends on our situation. I'll give you an example of a situation that we've all gone, as human beings, we all go through it, where we don't listen to our inner voice. When it comes to our job pursuit and what we do for a living, it's important to enjoy what we do for a living, right? Yeah, of course it's important. I want to enjoy what I do for a living. I want to wake up in the morning and be excited to go to work. I'm sure you do too. But for whatever reason, we continue to pursue jobs or pursue a routine or a career that we're kind of not that satisfied with. But it does what we need it to do, you know? It's a job, it pays the bills, it provides some sense of comfort, but we're not really excited about doing it. You know, we're kind of driving on autopilot is the best way to put it. And that we just get up, same routine, have your coffee, have your second coffee, go to work, do your commute, do what you gotta do at work. If you're not really that excited about it, then go home, turn on Netflix, and then do that same goddamn routine over and over and over again. And it's tiring, and it's exhausting, and it's uninspiring. It doesn't get you excited to wake up in the morning and go to work. The only thing you're really excited about is like, oh, well, I hope the food in the cafeteria today is good for my lunch. Can't wait to get back home and get back to my shows and back to my Netflix. It's not the way human beings are meant to live. We're meant to enjoy our lives. We're meant to feel inspired every day. Well, not necessarily going to be inspired every single day. Some days are going to be harder than others. Even if you do enjoy and you really like what you do, some days are actually going to be difficult. And even if you have a passion and you love to do what you do, there are going to be aspects to everything that you do that you kind of, you don't enjoy. But when you're stuck into a routine, or stuck into a job, or even stuck into a relationship that's not fulfilling, that's not happy, that little inner voice is speaking to you, and it's telling you something. And it may be a very dull little voice, depending on your level of satisfaction, or unsatisfaction, or happiness, and depending how far deep into it you are. You maybe not be satisfied with what you're doing, but you're like a little bit miserable and a little bit uncomfortable, but you're comfortable just enough not to take any action on the situation, because taking action and actually addressing that inner voice, that's uncomfortable. Well, I want to make changes in my life. Well, maybe you're not uncomfortable or dissatisfied enough to actually motivate you to make that change. So you continue into the routine that you've done over and over again, because it pays the bills and it pays your food, and you just keep going. And it's your choice if you want to address that inner voice. And I think, my opinion, I think it's really important to enjoy every single aspect of your life. Every single one. And when I was a younger man, in my early 20s, even in my teens, I had a difficult time doing jobs or doing anything outside of school that I didn't enjoy. That you're always told, who cares? You don't need to enjoy it. It's a student job. It's paying your drinking money with your buddies on Friday night, right? It's just pocket change. You're still living at home. It's still mommy and daddy are still paying your bills, right? It's not a big deal. You don't need to enjoy that. It's just an experience. But I've always had a hard time doing things I just don't enjoy doing. And that's just, well, you do this because you have to. Well, I don't like doing it. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Why do I have to do this? Well, this is what everybody does. It's a student job, so suck it up and do it anyway. And I've always had a hard time with that. And I would always go, when I was younger, always go to job because I was dissatisfied with it. And it was the same thing in relationships too. It was the same thing. If I got to a point where I'm not satisfied, like, well, screw this. I'm not happy in this relationship. I'm getting out and make myself happy. And it didn't matter what the mess that it created to get out of that relationship. That didn't matter with me. I was like willing to deal with the drama or deal with the consequences of just leaving an unhappy job and not giving a 2 weeks notice, stuff like that, and just doing stuff when you're a kid and doing stuff that's you're not aware of what's professional and what's not, but you don't care because you just want to be happy and enjoy yourself. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a millennial mentality, maybe it is, but that was just the mentality that I had when I was young, and I wanted to enjoy the things in my life that it needed to have purpose for me. Like everything that I do now has to have meaning. It has to have purpose for me. I've been running this channel for about over a year and a half, and I keep doing it, and I've continued to do it religiously because it gives me some form of purpose. For me, I enjoy doing this. Now, I have a day job. I work 35 hours a week. I volunteer with Scouts as well. I train jiu-jitsu as well, but I have this little channel on the side because I enjoy doing it. I'm not making a living, I'm not gaining a profit out of it, but it's giving me something because I enjoy making videos for you guys. I enjoy it. It gives me fulfillment. It gives me pleasure doing it. And I started doing it because I was bored through the lockdowns of the pandemic. I was bored, so I started doing it. It gave me purpose. It was that inner voice telling me that, you know what, I enjoy doing this. You know what, I want to get better at this. You know what, I really want to invest my time into this. I want to get what I need to do, get what I need to pursue this. And it was the same thing when I started training jiu-jitsu. It was the same thing. Like, wow, I really love this. I wish I had done this when I was younger. So invest the time and the equipment that you need, and you pursue it, and you go for it because it gives you pleasure. And I think too many of us are in a situation where we're conditioned to think a certain way. And we're conditioned to think that this is the direction we're supposed to be going. This is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life because that's what everybody does. And that's what society has conditioned me to do, even though I really don't enjoy it. I really don't like it. And that little inner voice telling you just like, oh, this sucks. Can I just, oh man, it's giving me so much stress and anxiety and I just want to get out of this thing, but that's not what my world taught me to do. That when you just power through and follow through with it. Doesn't matter if it's making you miserable. So it's this inner voice in your head and your conditioning clashing with each other. And that's the issue right there. It's clashing. One of them's going to give at one point. Is that conditioning going to give and just going to suppress that inner voice? Or is that inner voice going to get so goddamn big and you're not going to care anymore about letting people down and letting people's expectations down of you, and you know what, screw it, and you're just going to develop a selfish mindset and just be like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to make myself happy. I don't care what family and friends and other people think. This sucks. I don't get any enjoyment, any fulfillment out of it, so I'm going to do what I need to do to make myself happy. And screw what everybody else thinks about it. And it takes it takes a long time, or it takes some sort of traumatic event to finally push yourself to that point where that inner voice gets so goddamn big, it explodes in your head, which finally causes you to take action about your situation. That's why it's so important to listen to that inner voice. Listen to it before it becomes a volcano, and listen to it when it's a little bit of a whisper. When it's a little bit of a whisper, start listening to it and be mindful of those thoughts. Be mindful of how you're feeling and how you're thinking. Be aware of that. Be more aware of your thoughts. I mean, who do you hear say that all the time? Be mindful of your thoughts. Be aware of how you're feeling. Yoda. And he's got a point, right? He's got a point. When you ignore those thoughts, when you ignore those feelings, they're actually telling you something. And you continue to ignore them, they're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Until it turns into a situation that's never needed to turn into in the first place. It could be avoided, where you just be more mindful and take little incremental steps and develop some sort of strategy to get out of your situation slowly and find the direction that you want to go into. That's going to give you enjoyment, fulfillment, and satisfaction. And on that note, thank you so much for watching, guys. Do me a big favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be doing another channel, another playlist for you guys. It's called Alpha Dad Mindset, and it's about building a proper foundation for fathers, or fathers to be a proper mental foundation of the things, of the fears, insecurities, and anxieties of what's coming as being a father, as being a dad, and all the situations that you're going to face. And I think personally that there's a huge expectation on men to prove themselves as fathers. And I think on mothers on the other hand, I think sometimes it's always a given. Oh, this woman's going to be a mother. Oh, she's going to be great, fantastic. Why? Because she's a woman. Yeah, of course. It's not necessarily the case. When it comes to men, on the other hand, I think men have more of a, societal conditioning to prove themselves as fathers. They really need to prove themselves. And if you're having any kind of doubts or any kind of insecurities about being a dad, this is what this channel is going to be. Where I'm just going to talk and give my 2 cents about it. And if you like it, great, awesome. That's why I do these videos, for you. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one.